How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. We had a lot of volatility in the market today, ended up having a pullback, but then recovered, coming back to the $2.90 range. We talked about how key this level was, and going into tomorrow, I want to make sure you guys are prepared. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. The reason this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.96, being down 6.92%. On the low, it tested $2.84, and then on the high, testing $3.16. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 19.471 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 31.715 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we saw a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 45.58. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day. We're also below the 21-day EMA and the 50-day. So right away, we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which means BBIG is in a bear market. But one thing to bring to your attention, we are still trading in a tight range, even though we did close above $3. But going into tomorrow, you're going to want to see if this 284 level could actually hold. If 284 does not hold, that's where we can start seeing 260, and that's where I was talking about where we can get down to the 250s. So that's why we want to see 280s hold up. Now, if we end up seeing a spike and so forth, I want to see us get back above the 21-day EMA, which is at $3.24. We ended up seeing a high of $3.16. So this is why I say if we have more buying coming into the market, no reason why we shouldn't be able to get back to 330 and at least test right here, right around 350. And then of course, seeing where we go from there. The buying pressure will be very essential. If we continue to have low volume like we did today, then of course, that's where we can continue to see the pullback. So now let's get into the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at some recent filings, yes, we do have for the 17th, we have Goldman Sachs Group Inc. that has puts and a value of 26,600 shares, and they also closed out their call position. And then for the 16th, we have Rayleigh Capital Management Inc. that purchased 300 shares, and then we have Pensera Capital Management LLC for the 15th that purchased 98,350 shares, and then we have California State Teachers Retirement System that purchased 81,378 shares. So one of the things that I want to bring up, we do have institutions showing interest, and that's what you want to see in a stock like BBIG. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 52.22%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 5.32 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.8 million, updated 21 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, we could see as far as for the latest, it is at 94.53%. And on the minimum, it was at 46%. So keep an eye on that. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, on the close of the 17th, it was 48.97, and then on the close of the 18th being at 52.22. So what does this tell us? BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow, it's at 10.31, and then on the outflow, it's at 10.16. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 0.24. On the medium, it was 6.92, and then on the small, it was 3.15. Taking a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 7.51. And then on the small, it was 2.65. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the close of February the 22nd, which is today, it being at an inflow of 242.77. When we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 14.34%. So not too bad whatsoever for a volatile stock like BBIG. We also have to take into consideration there's a good amount of traders in this play, and with how the market has been acting, I'm not shocked. Like I've been saying in my previous videos, we've been seeing some strong improvements when it comes to the turnover ratio. So there are still many who are holding on to their positions, but one thing that is very clear though, we are at a strong area of support, trading in a very tight range. I'll talk about that further inside of the final thoughts, and let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, in regards to the price action, we did have a pullback to $2.84, but I feel that we still have strength. The fact that we were able to close at around $2.96 shows that there is demand when we drop below $2.90 area. So knowing that going into tomorrow, if we have strength inside of the market, I don't see any reason whatsoever that we shouldn't be able to get to at least $3.30. We need to have that buying volume. This is very crucial. We did have low volume on the day as well. And as far as for shorts are concerned, I'm pretty sure they did cover some of their positions while we had low volume and while the stock was trading in a tight range. So we want to see that move going to 330, and then essentially we want to get to 350, and upon passing 350, yes, we have seen the $3.60 level, but you guys know I want to see $3.84. So whether it's going to take a catalyst or seeing strong buying pressure coming into the tech sector, I feel like this is very achievable. And if all of these factors don't come through, and let's say we end up pulling back even more, and this is where you're going to want to see it at least hold up around $2.60. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, and there's still high short borrow fees. So this is why I say you do not want to take this play off your radar whatsoever. And we do see that institutions have been loading up on shares. So all this play needs is a catalyst and more buying volume coming into the market for it to pick up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.